not seen any women crying over passport bros.
Not exactly crying, but there are definitely a lot of videos out there of women making videos about men who are seemingly rather confused why men wouldn't want to date women in their own countries.
However, I have seen a lot of women laughing at passport bros, because we can replace men like you with cats and dogs.
That is really great news, because that means there's soon to be a great reduction in the homeless pet population.
But y'all have to literally go to another country because no other woman in your own country wants you anymore.
No, that is not why some men are choosing to go to other countries in hopes of finding their life partner. It's because many aspects of modern society, to include some aspects of modern feminism, has turned the dating pool for men into a veritable cesspool of toxic behavior.
That's what we call a whole cope, honey.
Actually, that's what we call men making the best decisions for themselves, their futures, and their mental health.
American women are losing it because passport bros are ignoring them is basically the internet's newest reality show. Except instead of roses and dramatic music, it's boarding passes, TikTok arguments, and people discovering that attention isn't guaranteed forever.
This comment is actually a great example of how men really don't understand women's lived experiences. Now, Theo Thayer, whatever that is responding to Passport Bro video. So let's see exactly what Theo Thayer has to say. No, you're not. It burns you. They go to other places to look for women, and no man comes here looking for you. People want to be wanted, and you're not. So and I kind of understand, he has only had his own experience as a male, and I'm guessing he's projecting he's had his experience as a male who's largely ignored and feels unwanted, invalidated, maybe even rejected, because the experience that women have, starting from puberty, unfortunately, grossly, is that they're noticed. No matter what they look like, no matter how they may dress down, no matter how much they try to not bring attention to themselves, they are noticed. If a woman wants attention, that's no problem at all. We are not sad when men stop paying attention to us, because men never stop paying attention to us. The myth that women become invisible after a certain age just really isn't there. Men are always going to be interested in women because women have that one thing that men want that they cannot replicate somewhere else. Women can kind of replicate what men have, but sometimes they like the real life thing. We have options, men don't, to such an extent that they will leave the country and go to a place where they are secretly ridiculed and mocked and used only for their American dollars. They're going to do all that just to get that one thing. Don't worry about us, babe. We're okay.
4 years the vibe online was simple. Men are replaceable, options are endless, and anyone who didn't meet sky-high expectations could get swiped into oblivion. Then suddenly some guys looked at the dating scene like a bad subscription service. Rising costs, low appreciation, constant updates nobody asked for, and decided to cancel locally and explore internationally.
You guys know that there's a trend encouraging men to all get passports and travel abroad. It's not just for sights or good food. No. It's to find wives. To find women who are more traditional. They're traveling all across the world just to find women who are more humble, more feminine, and willing to treat their men better than women in the US. Traveling to places like Italy, Thailand, Brazil, just to find women who will treat them right. The Passport Bros ideology is that they're escaping the hatred of feminist women and are traveling somewhere they can thrive. They believe the ideology that by seeking foreign women, they can find a more authentic, fulfilling, and harmonious relationship. This is seen as a way to restore the natural balance between masculine and feminine energy. This is triggering some women because they think that these men are interested in finding these women They think they will be more submissive. I'm not sure if this trend / movement is gonna end or only get worse. What do you guys think?
So I did a video earlier talking about how women go to other countries looking for American men to, get with. And I said, it's amazing to me how those women will follow those men out there after criticizing them for going to different countries to find women to either, date or marry. But they'll, like those women, to follow those men out there and then be surprised when those men don't want them, particularly black women. But I also wanted to say that they have an issue with that because they know that them going out there to try to actually deal with the men from those places is a lose-lose situation for them. Because if you're going to these countries where they're not as, financially stable, that means that you're going in there making more money than them, which means you're honestly putting yourself at a disadvantage for the type of man that you want, right? So you're going to chase the men that have the money to go and do whatever they want out there, or you assume they do. They don't want you. But then you also don't want the men from those local places because you also want to be taken care of, right? So what basically happens is that American women have no place to go for the type of man that they want. Y'all want men that are going to take care of y'all, but you also think that you're going to be making the decisions as a woman in that relationship. And you'll find out very quickly, even if you were to go to different countries that have men like that, they're way more traditional than America is. So America is the only playground that y'all women have. Because in order for you to get the man that you want in different places, you have to be a different type of woman that you've already decided that you don't want to be, which is why the men of America are leaving America to go to those different countries. So the problem is that women have problems with passport guys because they can go places and find what they want, but women can't go anywhere outside of America to find what they want, because what they want is a man that would only exist in America. Other countries are way more traditional and expecting way more traditional values as far as how you keep yourself up, how you behave. Like, you're not going anywhere outside of America to find that. Like, your only pool is America, and so it puts you at a disadvantage. And that's why the women are really mad, because they don't have a place to go that men do. Like, men could go anywhere, especially black men. They talk as much crap as they want about black men, but we are wanted in other countries. Very much so. That's not the case for the women, because you'll go to different countries and your behavior will not be appreciated. See, as a man, we go over there and we're always expected to be, the protectors and providers anyway. So we can lean into that role, especially if the finances are a lot more conducive. But you guys want to be taken care of. So you going over there with your finances doesn't help you find the man that you want, because all you're really doing is how Stella got a groove back, and you're getting somebody to take care of, and that's not what you really want. And this is why men always are going to win this situation, because what men want, they can go out there and pretty much pay for. Even if it isn't real love, but they want romance or whatever, they can pay for romance. I wouldn't advise it, but they can. They can pay for romance, they can pay for cooking, cleaning, they can pay for everything. But what women want, y'all can't pay for. Y'all can't pay for a man that's gonna pay for you. Y'all can't pay for a man that's gonna take care of you and love you and cover you. That you can't pay for that. And so that's why I think a lot of women are much more upset about men going overseas, because even if women try to follow them, y'all can't get those men that left because they know they didn't want y'all, that's why they left. And y'all can't get the men that's there because those men either need you to take care of them, or they're expecting you to be a certain type of woman that you just will not be. So you're kind of stuck. And I think that's why the passport bro movement is so hated by women, is because they recognize that it can only work one way, unless a woman is going out there to legitimately take care of a man, which is not what they want. They really don't have any options but to stay here in America and deal with the pickings that y'all say y'all didn't want in the first place. It's crazy, right?
Cue the public outrage arc. Not curiosity. Not reflection. Just instant think pieces about why these men are weird, why foreign women are the problem, and why leaving the system makes you a villain. Because nothing shakes the internet like men quietly opting out instead of begging for attention.
My take on the passport boys. AKA these men that are leaving the country to find their wives or to find women that they feel like are more traditional than American women. First comment, get a fucking grip. Like, are you guys really being fucking for real? The fact of the matter is the average woman does not even require that much. As a woman in America, why in 2022 would I settle for a man that expects me to basically be a slave and maid? So, I mean, I see why y'all gotta go overseas to sell the bullshit to other women. But another thing you're missing and point you're missing is you need money. Like, it's gonna take time, energy, and money that y'all can't even give to women that live here in your own culture. You guys are delusional. It's giving you need to be in a mental health facility. Because instead of being introspective and looking at your actions, what you're doing that's maybe not working out in your favor, y'all would rather like go to another country and just continue the toxicity.
A few moments later.
I don't know. I feel like everything black women do is a problem. I don't feel safe, protected, loved around my own men of my race, and it hurts. Because black women go so hard for y'all. We go so hard for black men. And they just never do the same for us. And I'm tired. Some of the comments I read were so hateful. Just and racist. Like, the white man doesn't even have to do the job for you because black men do the job of white supremacy for them. I've never been called ugly, unattractive, ghetto, and just all the negative things that people say about black women by anyone other than black men. And you know what? I'm sick and tired of y'all bullying us. I'm sick and tired of us being quiet. And y'all just wonder why we are quote unquote angry. We're not angry, we're fucking tired.
And get straight into it. This is another case of black women not minding their business. Y'all didn't care about meal order brides until black men happened to make it popular. But of course you feel entitled to being a BBC commander when something no longer benefits you. Although these are the same men that you said you didn't want, didn't need, and they are broke. I'm gonna be honest, going overseas to travel frequently and live does not equate to broke. But then again, this just simply speaks to the delusion and hypocrisy of women. These men have been very clear in their message. They said time and time again they wanted wives, someone they could build with, start their family with, someone they could create a legacy with. What y'all heard was they wanted someone that they can control. Y'all minimize being a wife simply down to being a slave, even so much as telling those other women overseas that they're uneducated and practicing sex tourism. And in turn, a lot of y'all have took your degree and traded it in for an OnlyFans profile. Nobody said anything when women were going to Dubai. We know why you were going. Nobody said anything when women were flying state to state getting flued out. We know what you were doing. Nobody said anything when Nigerian and Jamaican men needed green cards and y'all started falsifying marriage documents so you could drive your Range Rover with your red bottoms. Let's just call a spade a spade. Y'all wanted the option to go back to these men after the man that you really wanted was done dragging you through the mud.
And the funniest part? Most passport bros aren't even claiming foreign women are perfect. They're just saying they felt more respected, less combative energy, fewer loyalty tests disguised as personality quizzes. But online discourse turns it into a global war like it's USA versus the world, because outrage gets views and nuance gets ignored.
Talk about passport bros. Only women they'll be getting are the ones that they're paying for, or women from impoverished areas that are desperate, or women from impoverished areas that are desperate, or
women from impoverished areas that are desperate.
Foreign women don't want the passport bros either, but they do want their money, probably more than American women want their money.
A few moments later.
What does a man gotta bring to the table to be with you?
His money.
Money. Like 100,000. At least 50, 60. I like the rich scammers.
I want the scammer. That's fast money.
I need all his money. He need to get that trap money.
He's gotta be a millie.
What do you mean?
Millionaire.
This passport bros video going around where American women are getting kind of upset that...
When are we gonna escape this mentality? She said that these bros are not marrying foreign women because they speak little English or because they have a lack of education, but because they're more nourishing and more caring. You're describing a maid, a free lift and one for the rest of your life at that. And at the end of the video, she's like, oh, this is mutually beneficial, and if it doesn't work out for you, just leave. Leave where? With who? With what money? In a foreign country where you speak little English and have little education? Just do like a little more thinking, girl. Why do they want to marry women that can't speak the predominant language? Because they're easier to control. It's not as easy as you're saying. So stop misinforming people. Stop defending these lowlives who are preying on our sisters.
Meanwhile, the attention economy takes a hit. When the same men who used to chase validation stop chasing, or worse, stop responding, the silence feels louder than any argument. Suddenly the narrative flips from men ain't needed to why are they leaving? Which is basically the internet discovering that options go both ways.
Why do you think it is today that a lot of American men are going overseas to find wives?
I cannot relate. It is the real thing, but it's just insecurity. Think overseas, go overseas, babe. I completely disagree because it takes a whole lot of courage, a whole lot of self-confidence, somewhat of financial stability, and a passport, which a lot of chicks don't even have, for a man to go overseas and find his wife. And actually, really be the ones who are complaining about men leaving the U.S. to find their wives. It be the women themselves. Isn't it true that you hear so many women online talking about, leave, we don't want you here, leave, go find yourself a doormat, leave, you think you're better than everybody else now since you have a passport, where are you going? Basically, women are shaming men and insulting them for trying to do better for themselves. I hear women talking about they want to do better for themselves all the time. So what's wrong when a man wants to do that for himself? Unfortunately, some women in America are not submissive, they are way too masculine, and they don't want to cater to a man. So girlfriend, you may look feminine, but if your attitude stinks, what is a man supposed to do besides moving on? And then you're going to be mad at him for it and call him insecure?
So the Passport Bros is gaining more and more popularity, and honestly the ladies are not happy about it. And one of the reasons I think it's getting so much pushback from women is because what this is going to mean is that ladies are not going to just have more competition. They're going to have more competition when it comes to dating and mating. There's going to be more options available for men, and I think for many ladies that just makes them feel a little bit uneasy, if I'm just being honest. First of all, the idea of dating and mating being competitive in general is not anything that we grew up hearing. A lot of women grew up hearing they're the prize, they just have to be, and the man will just magically show up, that, you know, just their presence isn't up. Like we heard these things, and so the idea of competing or the idea of, you know, making yourself available or different, you know, things that you would do to make yourself desirable to another partner is very foreign, especially for Black women. And so now fast forward and you have this whole group of men that are saying, hey, you aren't willing to work with us. Fine, we're going to go abroad and find women who are. It's like a mixture of shock and disdain and disgust, and how dare you do this? Like, you're going to make us have to compete? How dare you? So the thing is, I don't think it's going anywhere. I legitimately do not think that this movement is going anywhere. If anything, I think it's going to grow. And this is just the way of the economy of the world. So many things are globalized. Jobs being one of them, different career opportunities, and of course, relationships is going to be one of them. So I just think it's making a lot of women uneasy. And the good news is, if you are a good woman, whether you in the USA or you are in, you know, Europe or you are in Asia, Africa, whatever, if you're a good woman, there's going to be no shortage of men who really want to, you know, be with you, especially in a society now where it's like there's a lot of women who just don't even want to have families. If you're a woman who doesn't want to have a family and does have the character and the qualities to do so, like, you're not going to have any problems. But the reality is, what worked 50, 60, maybe even 10 years ago when it came to finding somebody, it's not going to work today. Things are just strictly different. Things just are not the same. And I think instead of trying to shame dudes or trying to find ways to detour them from doing what they have already decided they're going to do, it might be more productive to just try to understand what's going on. At least listen. Even if you don't like the Passport Bros, at least try to listen to their complaints, hear where they're coming from, and then from there you might be able to figure out, okay, how to navigate in this space. My thoughts.
But here's the real kicker. Most of this chaos isn't about foreign women, and it's not even really about Passport Bros. It's about losing control over a dating narrative where one side assumed the other would always stick around, and realizing that once people find environments where they feel valued, they don't rush back to old dynamics.
Get your passport and stop playing. I don't understand what y'all not understanding. Get your passport. These women in America is not it. You know, I've been back in America for about, like a month now? And I'm seeing, like, no, this is not the spot, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to, get another trip out to Europe. I'm going somewhere else, and then I'm probably going to go to Europe. Because this ain't it. These women will drain you of your happiness. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about you. All they care about is how they feel and what they want out of life. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. We all want certain things out of life. But what you want, your happiness, oftentimes is not even considered. You know what I mean? Like, so, if I find a European woman, a woman from the Netherlands, Germany or something, I'm out of America, bro. Like, ain't no way I'm staying here. Nah. Like, I done already made my mind up. No way. You know what I'm saying? Get y'all passports, man. Once you see how people treat you in them other countries, you ain't never gonna be the same. I'm telling y'all. You know what I mean? Like, these women out here, all they trying to do is impress their friends, get what they want, you know what I'm saying? Try to get money up out of dudes and all. Like, I be seeing it, peeping game, like, what's going on? No. You know what I mean? Like, no, y'all wake up. It ain't y'all. It's the game of America. Get up out of here, gang.
And nothing triggers the internet faster than realizing the audience you thought was permanent just bought a plane ticket.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.